Hey, I'm Myers. Normally I do record review videos, but just got some stuff on my mind and want to talk to you guys about it. I've had this running idea for a while that I'm in a competition with a lot of you to become the world's oldest teenager. I know I'm a lot younger than some of you guys, but it's just kind of a common theme of us who are into this stuff that we perpetuate that teenage mentality of collecting records and doing the stuff we love and collecting art and you know uh, toys or memorabilia or whatever. I mean, I don't give a shit if you collect skateboard decks just for the art, or if you're collecting old metal lunch boxes or whatever it may be. Part of that is us wanting to capture that time of our youth and that teenager mentality. And, so when heavy shit happens, it's hard to shift the gears to, see things for what they are. And, so last night I became aware of a guy I know down in Omaha, who's no longer with us, who he fronted REF, the Omaha punk band. I mean, what REF sound is like to me is always kind of that mid 80s sort of like skater thrash punk that when I first got into punk, I mean, I got into punk rock through skateboard magazines and ordering, Naked Reagan and Black Flag and the rest of the fucking SST catalog. I mean, Minutemen and there were all kinds of lesser known bands on the SST catalog that SWA, which was one of Chuck Dukowski's bands, there was so many great bands that I bought them on cassette, and I'm drawing a blank right now. The one band had a cassette called Jupiter Eye. I can't think of their name right now. The guitar player is married to B.B. Buell and plays guitar with B.B. Buell now. But anyways, but last year or 2 years ago, I can't remember now, REF finally put out vinyl right here. And, mine's signed by the guys, and here's Kelly's signature here. But I don't know all the details on it, but my impression is Kelly checked out early, and so I have strong feelings about that due to the fact that I've contemplated checking out early, and my wife's brother checked out early about 4 years ago, a little more than 4 years ago, and it has permanently affected my wife and her family, and and then last year we lost her daughter, not by suicide, but by a gun accident that has really, really affected my family. You know, the you cannot imagine. Like, I'm madly in love with my wife, and I would wake up in the middle of the night uh, and hear her crying in her sleep. She was asleep, and and she was unaware of this, but like she was crying while sleeping, and like that is hard to shake for me. That's hard, like she was in that much pain that she was crying in her sleep, and so as bad as things might feel for any of us in a given moment, like you fucking matter. Like the ripple effects of you checking out early. Um, you know, Last night when I found out about Kelly, my reactions were I wanted to reach out to Rick Agnew because Rick Agnew would. I brought Rick to Sioux City by himself. I'm like, I've got a band for you. Don't worry about it. Like these guys know your songs. Blah blah blah. You'll have a couple days to rehearse with them, and blah blah blah. And so he came in, and like from the very first fucking intro chords of OC Life, you knew it was on. Like they were so fucking tight, and Kelly and the rest of the guys in RAF, backed them, and and they called it RAF, Rick Agnew's fiasco, and but it was brilliant. Those guys had a lot of fun. Rick's been back to the Midwest, down to Omaha a few times to hang out with those guys, and so I contacted Rick Agnew last night to let him know. I reached out to my friend Richie, who is from Sioux City but now lives outside of Pittsburgh. Richie needed a band, needed bands for a benefit show, and for another friend, Richie had a friend who checked out early, who Richie wanted to do a benefit show to raise money for this guy's family, and I put him in contact with RAF, and they were totally fucking gracious, and Richie become pretty good friends with those guys, and I wanted to let Richie know, and but so like while I haven't been close friends with Kelly by any means, it does have ripple effects, and I mean, aside from his band stuff, I've had him silkscreen T-shirts for me. He's an artist, silkscreener type who, he's silkscreen T-shirts for me in the past, and always great to see him. Always great to bullshit with him. He always like a jovial, just really fucking nice guy. Like when I was a teenager, I had this fanzine that I wrote called the Teenage News, and I don't really remember this, but like the drummer from REF, Tim Cox, he jokes with me about, I put something in there about Tim Cox is almost too nice to be punk, and he is like Tim is like the sweetest fucking guy, and Derek, the bass player, is fucking awesome, and Danny Stewart, one of the guitar players. Danny is like a brother to me, who and here again, like Danny and I aren't close, Danny and I, like, fuck, we haven't talked for a couple years. I haven't seen Danny since I moved up to Minnesota, and I moved up here 3 years ago. But there's a connection because we come from the same place. We come from the same, you know, mindset. And, so they're all such fucking good guys. And so my heart's with Tim and Derek and Danny and Paul and RAF, and um, if you don't have this, this is actually their second recording. They put out a cassette way back in the late '80s, early '90s, but this came out a year or so ago, 2 years ago maybe, and you could pick it up on their Bandcamp. Look for RAF Omaha on Bandcamp, and you can pick this up. Killer fucking slab. If you're into 80s style skate thrash punk sort of stuff. But anyways, and then another thing I've been thinking about is this whole idea of checking out early. I seriously contemplated it when I was I can't remember what year it was in school, but anyways, that fall, I want to say it was the fall of '92. I could be wrong, but the fall of '92, I was like big Ramones fan and whatever, and there was a new Ramones record coming out, and I got it on cassette, and I was contemplating checking it out early, and I heard a song on this. Sorry for being emotional, but there was a song on this record where Joey Ramone singing "It's Gonna Be All Right." It's gonna be okay, and like I was contemplating checking it out permanently, and like, and I remember at the time Joey Ramone said in the press when this came out, I think he said it on alternative MTV's Alternative Nation or 120 Minutes, one of those MTV shows. I think Joey Ramone said, "Well, it's not our best record, but it's a record." And but this one song on here is going to be all right. I took it as a promise from Joey Ramone that if I just hold on, just can hold fast for a little bit longer, I could get out on my own and start living my life the way I wanted to live it, and things are going to be all right. And like, and I held on. There was another time in my 20s where I was contemplating checking out, and I put on Rick Agnew's All by Myself, and there was something about Rick Agnew's All by Myself that there's like this indignity in the music of like, I'm not going to do this. I'm going to be myself. Like OC life is not the life for me, and like all that sort of shit. Where like I listen to All by Myself, and I get this indignant feeling of like, why am I feeling this? Like, why am I thinking about checking out? Like, I'm going to fucking live. I'm here, motherfuckers. And so yeah, I don't know what compels some of us to stick it out and others of us check out early. But fuck, man, I don't have many close friends. I mean, I know a lot of people, but I don't have many close friends. But I mean, if you're contemplating checking out, fucking reach out to me or anybody. Fuck it, yeah. And I don't know what to fucking tell a person or whatever, but like I'll fucking listen. You know, I'll hear I'll hear you out, and uh, I don't know, you know, it's just rough, you know. Punk rock, the path of the fucking punk rock, it's never been fucking easy. Like I I knew I was different from the rest of the fucking kids I went to school with. Period. Then I got out skating, and I'm reading in the back of skateboard magazines. You know, like I remember the one skateboard magazine I used to read had top 10 lists from all like the pro skaters and BMXers and whatever, and they always talked about Naked Reagan and all these other Blast and all these other fucking bands that they were listening to. And so I started ordering the same fucking cassettes out of the back of these magazines, and and listening to that music, I definitely I knew I was different than the kids I was going to school with. I knew when I'm listening to Minutemen, I'm definitely different than the kids I went to school with who were listening to Milli Vanilli. So you know, uh, I, I I don't know if I chose to be a punk rock or if I was just destined to be one. Like it just, I've always kind of been a little bit different, and you know, yeah, you just, and then once you're in this thing, once you're in this world of punk rock, um, like I've seen a lot of friends go. I mean, uh, whether by their own choice or accidents or you know you name it. I mean, I had a friend, Greg Hedrick, who he got in a car accident, killed himself, and a girl we went to high school with in a car accident one year, and you know, um, I've had friends, just overdose or whatever that aren't here anymore, and so yeah, it's tough. I mean, living, like I said, I don't know if I chose to be a punk as much as like it's just who I am, and how when I found punk rock and the punk community, uh, I found my people, or whatever. But like it's not an easy fucking life by any means, and so I mean, sorry for rambling here, but think about Kelly, and think about the rest of the guys in the band. Danny and Tim. And Tim's like a brother to me. Tim's from Sioux City. He's from Sioux City. Had moved down to Omaha, and but always there was always, like, even back when it was a 55-mile-an-hour speed limit down I-29. Omaha was about an hour and a half or so. Now it's like hour 15 minutes or something between Omaha and Sioux City, and when we were kids, I was talking to my buddy Dave Jansen about this, where you know, it's actually closer to Sioux Falls from Sioux City than it is to Omaha. But when we were kids, where would we go? We'd always went to Omaha because the record stores and the shows and whatever. And like our migration down to Omaha and those guys coming up to play shows or whatever, like, there was always a strong connection between the Omaha and the Sioux City punk scenes, and I know Omaha and Lincoln have that strong connection also, but like Omaha and Sioux City, like bands like REF, Mousetrap, so many fucking bands that the bands that Lee Meyerpeer's been in over the years, Cactus Nerve Thing, and Bad Luck Charm, and and even his honky tonk band, the Filter Kings, Lee's a brother, I fucking love that guy. There's so many great guys in the Omaha scene, and even guys who don't play anything, like Dean Lundberg, Dean's a kook, but I love him, Dean's one of them guys. He drinks Diet Coke and goes to punk rock shows, and goes record collecting, and Dean's also in competition with me to become the world's oldest teenager, and I'm just thinking about my friends in Omaha, and I hope the best for everybody, man. I know strength has nothing to do with this shit or whatever, but stay strong. And if you need to reach out, reach out. Please reach out. I'd rather fucking get an email or a text or a phone call from any of you than to hear about something, like what's happened to Kelly. So, with that, I'm going to cut off this video. So, sorry for being heavy, but I'm just in a heavy mood. If you don't have this RAF album, if you're unfamiliar with RAF, my company Sioux Guitars, go on to the Sioux Guitars YouTube, and there's videos of REF playing with Rick Agnew at the Chesterfield in Sioux City, Iowa, and that night was so fucking great. Holy cow! It was. At one point, I remember, that fucking wanker shit that like Def Leppard and those guys used to do back in the '80s, where like the two guitar players would go back to back and do their solo or whatever. I remember at one point in the night, they're grinding away and whatever, and Rick goes over to the bass player, Derek Higgins, and they're facing each other, but Rick leans over and puts his head on Derek's shoulder, and Derek did the same thing. Like, it was just a magical moment to see. Those guys really connected, and and if you tried telling me that they'd been playing together for 20 years, I would have fucking believed it, because they were that fucking tight. It was great. So, anyways, go and cut this video off. Love you guys. Hang in there. Hang in there.